Hi, my name is Chiara. I am the small business owner of the company We've been established for 13 years and we make pet products, and we also sell items that help you to make time for yourself and disconnect from the digital. Okay, so this week I wanted to talk to you about TikTok. So much like the video that I did about ChatGPT the other week, I am very much not an expert. What I wanted to share with you was my experience as a complete beginner to TikTok Live and how it has helped and is helping my business, I believe. So I was familiar with TikTok, posting reels, that kind of thing. The content on our TikTok is a little bit different to our normal Instagram, but we haven't amassed a huge amount of followers and we still have under 1,000 followers. From what I understand, we're able to go live because we have a business account. I believe that that is the reason. So either way, we have a TikTok shop set up and we are able to go live. But I was really scared to go live because it seems to me like there are a lot of things going on with TikTok. You've got diamonds, you've got things flashing up on the screen, all kinds of stuff going on. To be honest, a lot of it I still don't understand. But what I will say is, and what encouraged me to go live, hold that thought. What encouraged me to actually try TikTok Live was actually Emily Harvey's Patreon. So Emily often does a monthly video chat with sort of like somebody that's an expert in a particular subject. And a couple of months ago, she did a chat with Jess from Marshmallow Avenue, whose earrings I am wearing at the moment. And she told us all about TikTok Live and how she's used it to grow her business. And she explained some of the various bits and pieces of the behind the scenes of TikTok Live, which I was finding a bit mystifying. And after attending that meeting and sort of having somebody else talk about it, it sort of gave me the courage to go live. So that's why I thought this video, I can explain some of the things that I've sort of discovered, and then what my experience has been and how much money we've made and whether or not I think it's been helpful, and hopefully it will be helpful for you too. Now, one of the reasons I was so grateful that Emily and Jess decided to do this live stream is because when I went onto YouTube, I couldn't find that many videos about doing a TikTok Live and the actual behind the scenes of the TikTok Live and how it all works when you're sort of at the back end of it. So that's what I'm kind of hoping this video will help to demystify a bit. I find a nice quiet space to do my lives, and you don't need an awful lot of equipment, which is the good thing about TikTok Live. So I have this tripod. I got this from Amazon. The reason I like it is that it stands up really tall, so I can put it on the ground and then my phone can be pretty much just sort of like focused on my face. I just use my normal phone that I also use to record all of these vlogs with as well. I have this board that I use for events and things that we do, and it has all of the different dog breeds that we sell, and it has the price and it has examples of the colours. So I thought that would make a nice backdrop, but you don't have to have a backdrop. You could use anything you like, really. Sometimes I use a microphone that I plug into my phone, and sometimes I just don't. So there are lots of different features about the TikTok Live experience, which I'm going to delve into a little bit deeper. So one of the first mistakes I made was not selecting the right category for my live, which is what I was just doing there. I went into the category selection, which is just under my logo, and I chose animals and pets because those are the kind of customers that I want to attract. You can then add products to your live. This is if you have a TikTok shop enabled and you have items in your TikTok shop. Hi, my name is Chiara. I am the owner of a small business called and we make pet tags that look like your dog. So one of the other important aspects of setting up your TikTok before you go live is to make sure that your description says a little bit about what you're going to be talking about. So again, this is a mistake I've made. I've just put sort of like selling live tonight or something like that, and I've not explained at all what we do. Whereas in the past, when I've changed my title and put something like, for example, pet tags and pet gifts, I've had somebody come on the live, actually buy a pet tag from me through the TikTok shop. And when I said, oh, out of interest, like, were you already following us or did we just kind of pop up? And she said, oh, no, you popped up on my For You page. And because it said pet tags and I needed a pet tag, so I just thought I'd come on and have a look. And she ended up buying. So it's really important to change that title. You don't have very many characters. I think it's only like 20 or 25. But you can, if you can just get in there what it is you do or you're sort of selling, then that obviously can be very, very helpful. The other thing is the billboards. I haven't used all of the billboards. They are sort of set templates, so there are restrictions to how much you can change, but some of them might have like a special offer. So say for example you're doing like a buy one get one free or buy two get the third free, you could put that in there, and when somebody looks at your live, they're going to see that on their screen and they might think, oh okay, or like spend so much, get so much off, anything like that. And those are all deals and coupons that you can set up within TikTok in the back end. So there are two different elements to the back end of a TikTok live. One is your TikTok seller shop, which is a whole different browser window that you can open up, and that's where you have all your products listed, it's where your orders are, it's where you can create coupons, and it's where you can see your missions as well. I'll talk about that in a second. The other is the live streamer desktop. Now this enables you to add products, it enables you to see the chat a little bit more clearly rather than it sort of scrolling up on your screen. And if you've got somebody that's helping you, so the first couple of lives I did, I had my 13-year-old daughter helping me, and she added the products into the live, she organised the flash sales for me. So I would say, right, we're going to do a flash sale on this product, and she'd go, okay, and she'd set it up, and she could also keep an eye on the comments in case there were any that I missed while I was talking to people. When I do a live, I don't have a script. I pretty much just sit there and chat to the people that come on. A lot of people find that it's better if they're doing something, so like packing orders and things like that. Because our items are customized, we can't do that. So what I will do is have my board up with all the dogs on, and I'll talk to them about the different breeds. I'll talk about business, like the business and our business story. Mainly I'm just trying to start a conversation, and sometimes those are the best lives and the lives that are the most fun. Missions. Okay, again, this is not something that I know an awful lot about, but TikTok will give you lots of missions and incentives because obviously they want to encourage you to go live, and they want more viewers on the platform, and they want you to be getting as much interaction as possible. So the first couple of lives I did, I went into my TikTok shop seller center and I had a look at my missions. And the missions that they'd given me were something along the lines of go live for like 2 times for at least 60 minutes in the next 7 days. And if I did that, they would then reward me with coupons, which I can give to my customers. So I earned, 10 coupons of £3 off, which meant that I could then share those coupons with people on the live, and TikTok would fund that £3. So if somebody placed an order and they used that £3 coupon, it wasn't coming out of my money. TikTok were paying it. So obviously that's great, and you want to get as many of those as possible. So they will do incentives like that. Now I've gone live quite a lot this month because I've been sort of testing it out, and I haven't had any more coupons. So it may be something that they encourage you with right at the very beginning, but I know from more sort of seasoned TikTok livers that you do get them. So it's possible that I just need to look in the right place, or I need to figure out what it is that I need to do in order to get more coupons. Gifts. The first time somebody gave me a gift, I didn't know what on earth it was. I really would not be happy if this computer died. Oh, I got a puppy! Oh, a puppy flew past me! Oh, thank you. Puppy kisses. I've never seen that one before. I think the most common gift are roses. They do actually cost the viewer money, like real money, but it's like tiny amounts. But the gifts can get larger. So things like roses or ice creams or whatever it is at the moment will be really cheap for the person to buy. But then you'll get more expensive gifts, which can cost, I don't know, like pounds, like quite a few pounds. I think my daughter kept saying, oh, let's ask for a galaxy. And when I looked it up, a galaxy was like £18 or something. So you can set targets on your live for people to send you gifts. And you might think, well, why would I bother to do that? Well, one, it's interaction. TikTok encourages you to do it. So it'll say like, oh, set up a target for this live, or set up a goal. And then when you achieve that goal, it sort of like sets off this like fanfare and does all these things. But it helps the people watching to feel involved. And I think it helps them to feel like they're contributing and they're supporting you. And so it's a positive thing. And what I was really surprised to see is after I'd done my first couple of lives, I went into the business account of my TikTok, and it said balance 56p. And I was like, what's that for? And I realised that the gifts that people had been giving me, are then converted into diamonds, and the diamonds are worth real money. So I think unless you're the sort of person that is on TikTok live for hours and hours a day, and you are constantly sort of engaging, you've got lots of viewers and lots of people sending you gifts, you're unlikely to make a fortune. I have currently made £4.99, which, is not to be sniffed at. But when I looked at, well, how can I take that money out? That's a coffee. It said that it would cost me a £3 transfer fee to take it out. So I was like, oh. So there is that. I think you have to have earned a decent amount in order to make it worthwhile. So I'm just going to let it sit there and we'll see what happens. So why are likes and things important on a TikTok live? Likes are important because So one of the first things I learned when I did a TikTok live is how important it is for people to like and share the live. So if somebody is liking the live, which basically means tapping the bottom right corner, it sends hearts across the screen and it builds up your like counter at the top. If you have more likes on a live, TikTok will push it out to more people on the For You page, which means obviously you get more people joining you. Obviously, you can also like your own live. I've done this many a time, but be careful not to do it when people are joining, because I have accidentally invited people to join me on the live before, and you don't want to be doing that unless you know them. So you can top the bottom right hand corner yourself to send likes to kind of kick it off to get people to start joining initially. You can also share the live. If you hit the share button, which is in the bottom right, you can share it with people who are online or offline. If they're online, it'll have a little green dot. If they're not online, then it won't. And they can be people that you might know them, or they might have come to lives before and you think that they're likely to come along and interact with you. So that's a good way to get people to kind of join straight away. There are also fun games and things that you can play. I discovered this recently. There was like a drawing game that I could play, which was loads of fun. And I think that is when you click the little dots and there's a more page. I'll have to find it and figure out exactly where it is because I've only done it once. But that was great fun, and that got loads of comments and loads of interaction. And obviously that also is good for TikTok to push out the live to other people. So my TikTok shop is linked to my Shopify. So within my Shopify, I have the TikTok app installed, or I have you go to the Shopify app store, search for TikTok, and you add it that way. And that is how it syncs my products to TikTok Shop, rather than me manually having to set up every single product in TikTok Shop, which would have been quite arduous. So you can just sync it. So I have all my products are listed, and then I have to manually sort of go in, edit them, and then sync them to TikTok Shop. That's how it works for me anyway. One of the issues I've had is inventory, because we have pet tags with loads of different designs but effectively the same base product. I don't track the inventory on Shopify, and TikTok doesn't seem to like that very much, and it keeps selling my product out on TikTok Shop even though I haven't had very many orders on there. So I have to keep going in and checking it. So that's something to bear in mind. But all of the other products that I have on there where I do have inventory tracked, I've had no issues with. So I think that's just a annoying little quirk. Mentioning other platforms. So one of the things that Jess from Marshmallow Avenue said right off the bat was, do not talk about other platforms. They will either push your live down so people don't see it as much, or you'll get a violation. If you get too many violations, you can get a ban, which obviously is bad. So I try to be really conscious of this, but I'm quite forgetful. And on one of the early lives I did get a violation. I had no idea what I'd said. It flashed up on my screen, you have received a violation, end the live now or you'll be banned for 3 days. Or suspended for 3 days. So I was like, so I ended the live, but then I immediately started a new one and it was fine. So I don't know what I said, but you're not supposed to mention things like YouTube, Instagram, Shopify, website, all of those kind of watchwords which could take people away from TikTok into somewhere else. So I will say sometimes, like, oh, over on that place where you can watch videos, or you can find us on that app where you upload photos, and things like that. And I'll mention like Studio Vlog, or I might say, oh, the other place where you can buy things from us. I will mention link in the bio. I don't know if that's an issue. Haven't had any problems so far. So one of the things about somebody placed an order through TikTok Shop, make sure that you have your shipping set up. So with TikTok Shop, everything has to be sent tracked. Everything has to have a tracking number. The very first order I sent through TikTok Shop, I thought, oh, it'll be okay if I use Royal Mail 24 or Royal Mail 48 because that gives you a number. It does give you a number, but it's not a fully tracked number. And TikTok Shop did not like that, and I got in trouble for that. I got like a negative mark because they couldn't verify that it had been delivered within the time frame. So now I have set up my pricing so that we can send all of the orders from TikTok Shop tracked 48, and I've not had any problems since. You need to be able to ship the orders quite quickly, and that you need to send them tracked. Again, because it's linked to Shopify, it comes through to our Shopify like an order, and it comes through to click and drop for us as well. And then we just process it like normal and send it out. So what if you are a little bit shy and you don't really want to show your face on camera? That's totally fine. I obviously am not camera shy. I don't mind showing my face on camera. But if you are camera shy, then there's definitely a way around that. So one of the things that I did initially was to watch quite a lot of other creators' lives to kind of give me ideas on how they were interacting with their customers, the kind of things they were doing, and what the customers were engaging with, so that I could see how I could make my lives, a little bit more interesting, or hopefully, get the engagement from customers. Some people, particularly if you're in this sort of like art creative world, will literally just film their hands while they're doing something. So they might be making a product, they might be making products for the customers on the live for orders, or they might be drawing or painting, or partaking in the craft that their business is about. And while they're doing that, they're talking to customers and they're answering the questions. So again, you could have if you were using your phone, which you probably are, you could have your phone face down, filming your hands, and then you could have the live streamer dashboard up on a computer to the side so that you can still read people's comments and respond. And you can also block people if you need to. If anybody says something you don't like or you don't want them on your live, you can block people very, very easily on the live, and then they won't be able to comment any further. So if you are camera shy, don't let that stop you. There's definitely a way around it. Okay, so how much money have we made? Because it is one of the factors, but I don't think it's the whole story when it comes to TikTok Live. I first started going live sort of regularly on TikTok in March. I did a load of lives in March, and then we had a bit of a break where we were moving offices, and there was quite a lot of stress, and I stopped for a while. And then this month again, I've started up very regularly, really trying to push the lives. So since March and to now, with really sort of like a big push in March and a big push in June, we've made almost £200 of sales. So we made £188.49 from 6 orders in that time period, directly through TikTok Shop. We have, however, had orders come through Shopify from people who have clicked the link on our bio and ordered directly through us. I know that because I've been talking to them on the live. They've asked a question and then it's pinged and they've got I went direct. And I was like, great. You do pay a commission when people shop with you through TikTok. I think it's about 10%. I'm not entirely sure. It did increase from when we started, so it's always worth double checking, because I would imagine that they would probably continue to increase the commission as they improve the platform. So for me, obviously, £200, that's great. I think it's more about, again, that brand recognition. So I can look at my dashboard on here, my analytics, and it will tell me things like how many thousands of product views I've had, how many followers I've gained, and things like that. So I think, again, it's all about visibility and brand awareness, because somebody might come on the live and they might not be ready to purchase yet, but that doesn't mean they're not going to come back again in the future. And if you continue to go live regularly, then you might pop up and think, oh yes, I was going to buy that thing from them, and then they buy it from you. So I do think that it is worthwhile. So TikTok, obviously, they are really geared towards driving sales. And I think if you are in a specific industry, sort of like the beauty or the wellness industry, then TikTok is 100% the right platform to be selling your products on. We are still testing it as one of the kind of niche sectors that is probably, especially because we're customized, is less likely to drive traffic. But now, obviously, that we're bringing in more stationary items, I'm really interested to see how that works. So next week, it's the beginning of the month again, people have been paid, I'm going to be doing more lives, and I will report back and let you know how I get on. But so for me, I feel like if you're customer base fits with the people that are using TikTok, then I think it's absolutely worth it as a platform. And if you are happy to go live, then I think it is definitely worth doing. And certainly don't be put off by worrying about the fact that somebody might say something mean or something you don't like. You can just block them. At the end of the day, it's people go on there just looking for an excuse to say something, because that's almost like it's their hobby. So you just have to ignore those people and don't let them spoil it for you, because TikTok is definitely a platform worth utilising for your small business. I really hope this video has been helpful. If you've got any questions or comments, please do put them below and I will do my best to answer them. But I hope this has provided you with a little bit more insight of behind the scenes of the TikTok live experience, and I hope it's made it a little bit less scary. And if you do give it a try, please feel free to put in the comments your handle for TikTok and let us know when you're going live so we can come along and support you. But yeah, best of luck, and thanks so much for watching.